Good morning, Abundant Life Church. This is Pastor Chris, and today we're going to finish up our study on Romans chapter 12, verses 1 through 8. We've been talking about being a living sacrifice, and what that means, it doesn't mean being a sin scorekeeper. It doesn't mean bragging to God about how many sins you've stopped. It doesn't mean arrogance. It doesn't mean even focusing on self. It means being focused on God, on worrying about what God's nature is like, not your nature. So what do we have to do then to be a living sacrifice? Well, if it's going to be about God, it's going to involve serving. It's going to involve helping to build God's kingdom. Okay. But it also involves serving the right way. Let's look at verses 4 down through the first part of verse 6 here. For just as each of us has one body with many members, and these members do not all have the same function, so in Christ, though many form one body, each member belongs to all the others. We have been given different gifts according to the grace given to each of us. All right. We don't serve in arrogance. We don't serve thinking too highly of ourselves, but we do serve. Paul starts talking about how each person has a gift from God. And those gifts are different, but they are all necessary. And we cannot go around thinking, I have the important gift. I'm better than you are because of what I do. There's that arrogance again. It sounds like the Roman church had been struggling with this issue of arrogance. I am a better Christian than you because of how I serve God. All right. And that arrogance was rubbing people the wrong way. Some were saying, my gift is more spiritual, and you are not as good a Christian as I am. They're not serving God the right way, and they're certainly don't have the right mindset to be a living sacrifice. All right, let's look at the next part of verse 6, though, and all the way down through verse 8 while I turn my stupid phone on again. Here we go. If your gift is prophesying, then prophecy in accordance with your faith. If it is serving, then serve. If it is teaching, then teach. If it is to encourage, then give encouragement. If it is giving, then give generously. If it is to lead, do it diligently. If it is to show mercy, do it cheerfully. All right. Rather than trying to decide who has the best gift or where you are ranked in your gift, instead celebrate all the gifts, because every single gift is important to God. Every single gift is important to the kingdom. And every single gift is about glorifying God, not bringing attention to ourselves. If you're a football team, do you need big guys? Yes, you do. If all you have is big guys, who's going to return kicks? Who's going to run the ball? You need little guys for that because they're faster. If all you have is little guys, who's going to block? Who's going to tackle? Right? In a church, you need all different personalities, all different perspectives, all different strengths. If all you have in a church are people who are excellent at praying and excellent at hugging people and making them feel welcome, that's good. I like that church. We're going to be broke in 6 months. The electricity won't be going because none of us have figured out finances or anything. If all you have is administrators, you're not going to reach anybody. If all you have are evangelists, you're not going to get any work done. Which gift is the most godly? That's not the way to see it. Are all of our gifts about God and not about us? Here's what really messes us up when we get to serving God, and why we get smug, and why we fall into a trap of ranking our spiritual gifts. It's because we think of spiritual gifts the wrong way. The word gift that Paul uses here in Romans and throughout his other readings, excuse me a second, sorry about that. The word gift that Paul uses is the word charisma, where we get the word charismatic. Sorry, people, hang on with me here. All gifts are charismatic. It doesn't mean speaking in tongues, it means serving God. But as much as I love Paul's writings, and I love Paul's writings, When I get to heaven, I have a suggestion for Paul. Yes, I'm suggesting an edit to the Bible. Yes, I know. Feel free to disagree with me. Feel free to be outraged. But I would change one word. I would say, Paul, instead of using the word gifts, what if you use the word tools? Because when they're tools, our mindset changes. If I get a gift, that's for me. I get to do with it whatever I want. Yesterday was Father's Day when I was taping this, and my boys sent me for Father's Day a $50 Amazon gift certificate. And I thought, cool, I get to buy what I want. I get to spend it on things for me. It's a gift for me, not something for the family, for me. All right, that's a gift. And when we hear that we have spiritual gifts, it's, oh, what can I get out of this? But when you're given a tool comes with expectations. Here's a hammer, okay? No one ever has to ask, what am I supposed to do with it? You go build something. You go create something. You go be a part of something. You see, in a church, we are a part of something. All of those tools are needed. So you have somebody with the tool of administration. Thank goodness, because bills need to be paid. Things need to be purchased. The church is a business in some sense and needs to be run. You have some people with the tool of kindness and love. That's great because people need to be greeted. They need to feel like they're a part of a family. You need people with that tool. You need people with the tool of teaching. You need people with the tool of working with kids. You need people with the tool of being able to sing. And when we recognize that we all have tools to build up the church, to build up God's kingdom, to serve Him, guess what we become then? Living sacrifices. This is what Paul was talking about. I want to close by telling you about a couple friends of mine. They're brothers, Bill and Steve Francis. They're both PKs. Their father pastored the same church for, I think he might have been there 50 years. He passed away a few years ago. And that church is now pastored by his son, Jim. But I want to talk about the other brother, Steve. Steve Francis, just like his brother Jim, was a pastor's son. His dad was a good preacher. Steve wasn't. His brother, I called him Jim. His name is Bill. His brother Bill is a good preacher. I've heard Bill preach a few times. He's good. He's now pastoring his father's church, doing a great job. Steve, I can say I heard him speak one time. Ooh, not good. Well, there's other gifts that you can bring. You can be good at music. Okay. Bill, the preacher, is a great musician. Plays the guitar wonderfully. Is a good song leader. Has a great voice. Steve, well, not so much. So Steve really doesn't have much he can do for the Lord. Okay. Steve became a dentist, and he's a good dentist, that is, but does God really need dentists? God needs a whole bunch of Bills, not so much Steve's. Is there anything God can do with a dentist like Steve? Their church was taking a mission trip to Guatemala. You know what Steve did? Steve went on that trip. And Steve spent that entire trip working on the teeth of the poor children in Guatemala. In fact, he even had some teenagers that helped him. I don't know if I have some dentist working on my teeth and he says to teenage assistant, "Do you want to try?" I think that. Anyways, here's my point. Steve did a remarkable thing there in Guatemala, and Steve did a thing his brother Bill could not do, his father couldn't do, I couldn't do it. You don't want me working on your teeth. Can God use dentists? Is dentistry a tool a spiritual gift that can glorify God? As long as it's in the hands of a living sacrifice, like my friend Steve, absolutely. Have a great day. We'll see you next time.